it's with Zoom, right? Is that how that works? I've never done Zoom live, so I didn't.
So if you watch it on the channel, you'll be able to see the YouTube comments on there. The Zoom chat would just be the three of us. So like, if we're, running long on something, I might be like, hey, but or if I'm like, hey, I gotta poop, I'll be right back. Oh wait, we're recording. Crap. Oh jeez. All right.
Good way to start off the show.
Crap. Literally crap. All right, everybody. How's it going, Thursday Warriors? Oh man. So we are here with Corissa Grant, who's going to be talking about her awesome Kickstarter for her book, and I will get to that in a minute. But welcome to the show. This is gonna be fun.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So while we wait for everybody to kick in, we're going to talk a little bit about some events we had, because we had a packed weekend last weekend. We had 4 days of a warehouse sale, which was awesome. Thank you to everybody who came out to that. It was not as super hot as I wished it was going, or thought it was going to be. Even though the building's a giant tin can, but whatever. It was awesome. I saw a lot of people buy boxes, a lot of people do stuff. We premiered at that event our the DC foil variants that we got, a giant collection of those and those hit the store tomorrow if they haven't already. I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live on our main ND Comics page here tomorrow night at 9:00. So you check it out and see what else. Oh, we had customer appreciation sale. Thank you everyone who came out for that. We appreciate you. How about that?
That is true.
It was good. The stores did great. Thank you so much, guys. Like we do really appreciate you guys. And then Sunday we had Mick Foley at the Mills, and that was awesome. He started signing a little early, and the line ended exactly at 4 as we needed it to. Everybody that came was awesome. Like there were no, there was only one person that asked, "Can I just go up say hi to him?" And I said, "Yeah, when you." After all these people who paid to see him get to, because they paid to see him first. And but that was like right at the beginning. And after that, nothing. And it was the smoothest signing I think I've ever been to, witnessed, or ran.
And he spent time with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got at least 5 to 10 minutes, if not more.
Yeah.
Genuinely the nicest dude.
Period. Yeah, it was
like no ego there whatsoever.
Yeah, he was super chill the whole time. I really appreciated him coming up. It was great. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So all right, so now I guess we will talk to Chris and see what goes on. So Carissa, you're here to talk about your books, and we have it's Worthy Chaos Redemption, right?
Yep.
Cool. And you have 5 issues so far, right?
Yes, 5 issues released. 6
okay, cool. We're going to talk about your Kickstarter. Do you want to talk about this, or do you want me to show the video from the Kickstarter page? Like what's your preference?
You could show the video first if you want.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. Now I'm going to try to attempt to make sure that this thing shares with audio, but I've had issues before, so let me know. So if you guys can hear it, then the people watching can hear it. So, all right, here we go.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Nice.
That's a weird ending to it, but I dug it. The music kind of like
The
cuts off.
sudden
I'm like,
stop, yeah.
So I love this description where it's like think Buffy, TVS meets Supernatural and Resident in Resident Evil, not and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
In Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural, technically in the Silent Hill town, but in the Resident Evil universe.
oh geez. Speaking
Yeah.
of Silent Hill town, like I don't know if you've seen pictures of Pittsburgh today, but we look like Silent Hill. Like with
Yeah.
all the Canada wildfires that are coming through right now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. Silent Hill is based on a real town. I don't know if you know
Oh
that.
really?
Yeah, it's
it is.
I can never say the name right, but it's a town that in the, I believe it's the 50s, they set fire as a an annual event. They set fire to like the underground garbage or something weird. And for whatever reason, this time it sparked something underground and it's still burning. So like
yeah.
yeah. So there's like 12 people living there still, but they can't get mail. They can't have to leave the town for all their gross. But I don't know why they're still there. It's like poisonous to live there. And the government paid everyone to move, and just some people just
man.
refuse to move. And it's been what now? 80 years.
Jeez, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I did remember hearing about that. I just couldn't remember. I don't remember where it is though. It's
Yeah,
like somewhere.
Pennsylvania.
Is it in PA?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, but
Okay.
I can never say it. It's like starts with a C or something.
Oh, it's probably in the east where like everything is like Native American and like like people can't say Schuylkill, like Schuylkill County.
Well,
It's
I'm
like-
dyslexic, so it could be like 3 letters for all I know. But
they're like Skullkill. I'm like, no, it's Schuylkill. Schuylkill.
I'll tell you,
Uh,
the pictures look awful. Like the roads are like split in half with like
Oh god,
fire coming out. It's like,
that's
Yeah.
that's freaking
Yeah, it
awesome.
sounds like Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You know,
Stubborn people who don't want to leave, even though their ground is literally burning underneath them.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
like,
sounds
totally
can
PA.
have free air.
That's PA. That's 100% PA.
That's
So,
about right. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So you sent me a couple or a PDF of this a little bit ago. And it was a while ago, and I can't remember everything from it. But I will tell you, like, I dug it because it had like this, like you mentioned, like Buffy and Supernatural, and I definitely got a Buffy vibe from it. But I was also getting like almost like a Witchblade vibe.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've ever read Witchblade.
Actually, it's funny you say that because the issue 6 cover is an homage. Half of it is an homage to a Witchblade cover, which was actually an homage to an Uncanny X-Men cover. But yeah. So
There
now
you
that you
go.
said that, I'll have to send it to you. So you can
Oh man, that's
see, I
awesome.
love that era of comics was the Witchblade and the Darkness because I'm a
Yep.
big Darkness fan, and you know
Yeah.
that's what it seemed like. The drawings seem very similar.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh yeah,
very-
we're both my artist and I are both 80s, 90s, love it. Best decade. So sorry, not sorry. But
awesome.
yeah, definitely has that kind of feel to it. And this, I don't know how much I don't think I've talked to you much about it at all, but ours is a kind of unique story because we did this role playing. So the 2 main characters, Seraphina and Draven, the angel descendant and the demon descendant, they're written by two completely different people. So like everything that Seraphina says or does or thinks is what I wrote, and everything that Draven says or thinks or does is what my co-writer wrote. So if you think that they sound like different characters, they're completely different characters.
That's
Yeah.
there
awesome.
you go.
So we did this role playing over 2.5 years now. And we already have 11 novels written for fun. We didn't plan this. Not going to release the novels, but 5 of those novels is series 1 of Redemption. So it's about 45 issues already written, finished to do series 1. So that's why we release them pretty fast. They're already written. My artist is pretty good and pretty fast. This is my artist, Jonas DaCosta's first paid job, so he has time to do it. He quit his job to do this for me.
Oh, wow.
So
There
no
you go.
guilt here or anything.
No pressure.
No
No pressure at all.
Yeah. So we release it every other month. Issue 6 got done yesterday. Cover 7 got done got inked today. Yeah, so issue 6 gets released August 15th, and issue 7, which is the end of book 1, gets released October 3rd. So the first book is 7 issues. So
Wow. That's
yeah,
awesome.
kind of moving along.
So after 7 issues, it'll be collected into a graphic novel then?
Yeah, it'll the
that's
graphic novel will be released in October too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then book
That's awesome.
starts January 23rd. I gave people Christmas off to waste their money on other stuff for once. So but yeah,
That's
I thought
awesome.
this is kind of an experiment because you know, I don't even know if my fans can afford every other month. So we're kind of experimenting because these are really close together, which a lot of people don't do. I mean, we literally finished our Kickstarter, you know, and then the next day we were in pre-launch for 4 weeks, and then we launched right away. And so at the end, this one ends July 17th, and it's a pre-launch the next day, and then it'll launch again a month later. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling through the Kickstarter here. I love like the gold Anubis, the plush Anubis, the plush merman.
There's only one of those gold Anubises left, and they're not getting remade. So
a metal cover. Neat.
yeah, it's I have the issue 4 that I got re-released in metal. Metal's
Nice.
gorgeous, man. I have never had a metal cover before. You know, and I absolutely adore it. Our issues are already pretty thick because they're 80-pound glossy pages. So adding a metal cover just kind of fit, I guess.
Wow.
And we actually have, which a lot of people don't, and I still can't understand why. We have an issue 1 tier, both in PDF and print. So newcomers can come in and just get issue 1 if they want. And then we have a catch-up tier, both in PDF, print, and metal tier, metal cover catch-up. And right now we're on to our 3rd stretch goal. We're on our way. So far everyone gets, even if you buy a $5 PDF, which comes with both the black and white and the color version, they will get 16 other PDFs from other indie comics, all issue 1s and
Wow.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
for $5, you're gonna get pretty much 18 PDFs.
Nice.
And they also get the sticker. We have a sticker. And then now we're on to almost to the 3rd goal of an issue 1, black and white, but issue 1 for our spinoff that we had made previously. So we have that. But yeah, all of our tiers come with the PDF too. So I know some people separate them, but if you buy a printed version, you get the PDF too. So
it's awesome.
Black and white and color, because my artist absolutely rules in black and white, and it didn't cost me anything extra. So I figure if people want it, they can read it. If not, they don't have to.
You know what I don't see on here, and it may just be this will lead to another question, but I don't see a retailer tier.
You know, I didn't do that this time, and I think I should have, because I didn't think it was a thing. I'm new. I've only been doing this 7 months. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But somebody had bought issues off of my website, and I thought that was weird that they bought like 2 sets of 1, 2, 3. And I had wrote to them and I said, oh, I shipped it in the mail. I'm like, oh, we're a comic book store. We wanted to sell yours in here. I was like, I would have sold it a little cheaper because you guys paid like more than, you know, they paid a lot. But yeah, so I might do that. I didn't know that was a thing, but someone had mentioned it, so I might have to do that.
Yeah, we like we're good friends with the guys who are Comicsburg, the publisher out of Pittsburgh, and one of their guys was doing a brand new Kickstarter, and Marvin was on, and we were like, please tell me he put a retailer tier. He's like, son of a bitch.
I can still add one.
So we
How many do
we
you
love
usually-
those. Yeah, we love those because they're
Mhm.
usually like 5 to 10 copies.
I was just gonna say, like, how many is
Yeah.
on there? Yeah.
Usually there's 2. There's a 5 copy one for like the smaller individual stores, and then there's like a 10 copy one. I like the 10 copy ones because we have 6 stores, so it makes sense for me to just be like, boom, 10 copies, see how it goes. If it goes
Yeah.
well, I'll keep
Yeah.
backing it. Blah,
Awesome.
blah, blah.
So if I did that, would I do it for the issue 5 or would I do it for issue 1? Because why would they want issue 5?
Well, I mean, you could probably, I would have like for that, I would say you may want to do like a 5 issue one and a 10 issue one for just what you have currently, right?
Oh, I have like 1,700. I got plenty.
Right, or of just that one issue, right? And then you would have I guess like so it's 6 issues out right now, right? So it'd be like a 30 copies, which would be 5 of each, and then like a 50 copy bundle, and that would be like the catch up retailer bundle, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know how well it would do, but I think you would at least get some retailers to pick
Can't
that
hurt,
up
right?
if they know. Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
especially since like I really love the theme, I really love the vibe of the book. I really like the art's really good. You know, it's no Jim Lee, but it's good. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I
Like-
said, this is his first paid job. So I mean, each book gets better than the last one, and he's gotten really, I mean, by the time he got to issue 4, like it's just some people thought it was a different artist. I mean, they were all good.
Yeah.
But when I posted like a page, someone came to me. Two people were like, "Is this the same artist?" And at first, I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm like, I don't know
Right.
why. Like, I was like, why? They're like, because it's really good. I was like, oh yeah. He's taking classes and he's getting to know the characters, and yeah, he's gotten a lot better. So
that's awesome.
yeah, I mean, he's always been good, but
Yeah.
it's just getting better as he goes.
Well, sequential art is what, from what I understand, sequential art is the hardest thing for any artist to keep up on.
Yeah.
And like I know people that were editors, and they're like, yeah, like we always ask to see sequential because you know nobody can really do it. And weirdly, so and I think Justin and I were having this conversation. It's hard to find good sequential artists in America right now, right? Like a lot of these guys are great for covers because they can do one, bang it out, make it look real sexy. But you ask them to put like, you know, do 22 pages in a month and have a background in there, and then have it at a deadline for an inker and a colorist. Inkers and colorists, there's a lot of those, but it's hard to find good sequential artists in America to do it because a lot of the guys working for the big 2 right now are from Spain, Brazil, Argentina, Philippines, yeah, like everywhere. Like Artgerm's from the Philippines, like no, Singapore. He's from Singapore. So
yeah, I will tell you, it took me months to find an artist, and I spent thousands on it. And if I was to give any advice, because I've been saying, oh, what's your advice for new people? Don't do character designs, just ask for a page, because my first months of it was asking for designs. And then when I asked for a test page, like you said, it does not look like the characters that they did. So finally, halfway through, I'm like, I'm just going to give him a page from the script, and I'm going to give him all the same page, and I'm going to see, you know, how it works out. And that's the only thing that worked out, because after spending thousands on it and months on it, because I mean, there were some good artists, but none of them looked the way I wanted the characters to look. And by the time I had found mine, what happened was I posted in a part of the story in Facebook, and I was exhausted at this point, so like I didn't care anymore. So I was like, if anyone wants to do a test page for a 45 issue, you know, series, you know, you do it for free, but then if I select it, I'll pay you for the page, and then I'll pay you, you know, obviously to continue. And I didn't think anyone was going to do it. But 5 people were doing it, and then my artist contacted me, and this is gonna sound really bad. I didn't like any of his art because he does portraits, and I didn't like the realistic look because I want the, you know, comic book. So he said, I mean, it was obviously skilled. I mean, it was phenomenal, but it just wasn't, you know, what I wanted. So he says, are you still taking submissions? And I said, well, I'll make a deal with you. I said, I have 5 people doing a free page. If you want to do a free page, I'll look at it now. If you want to wait till after they're done, if I don't select one of them, I'll pay you to do a page. So he's like, oh, I'll do a free one. It was phenomenal. Like, it was exactly the picture of the characters in my head. I paid all the other ones to go away, and then I just hired him. And at first we butt heads, not to say that anybody's gonna have trouble working with him. He's actually phenomenal, and we don't have any issues now. But I was used to when I had done one other issue, which did not go well, but I was used to giving the artist just the script, and then they do the exact panels you tell them to do. That's what everyone said. You know, you have 5 panels on a page. He doesn't work that way. He's phenomenal at panels. He makes it like a movie. Like, he makes, you know, this whole action-packed thing. And I didn't understand that. So we kind of butt heads, because I'm just like, you have to, I'm telling you what to put, and you're doing all these things. So we kind of came to a compromise where I cut my panels down from 6 to 3, to 3 to 4. And then he turns it into whatever the hell he wants to. And since then, it's been, you know, we don't even, there's no issues. He hands it in, and I'm like, that's phenomenal, do more. And then we go. So it works out great. And it was so funny because I was so frustrated in the beginning because I did not understand it. My husband's like, you need a new artist. I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I need to figure out how to make this work. And once I figured that out, it was gold. And then by the following issue, he's like, I know these characters, and, you know, and he loves the story too. I'm really lucky, because he's not just a paid artist. He's like part of the team. You know, he cares about the story. He loves the story. He went away for 4 weeks. My husband said, don't bother him. Don't message him. Leave him alone. I was like, I wasn't doing anything. And 2 weeks in, he messages me, and he's like, I missed drawing the story. I can't wait to get home. I was like, we're having withdrawal from pictures. So hurry up and get home. So it actually worked out. And then he'd like message every couple of days, like 10 more days. And I was like, just get home. So it worked out really well. So I'm very lucky to have somebody that's totally into it. And he actually got upset the other day because I said, oh, I wish you could do the spin-off. He goes, why can't I do the spin-off? I was like, well, you have 45 issues to do for this story, and we're already 7 issues into series 2. I mean, unless you want to clone yourself, I don't know when you're going to do this spin-off. But I wish we could. I'd clone him in an instant.
So is he from near you, or how did you guys meet up?
We met up on Facebook. He's actually in the UK.
Okay.
He does want to come here, like he wants to do cons here. And my husband wants to go there, because the best thing about comics is wherever I want to travel, it's tax deductible. So so I'm like, yeah, let's go to London. So we're gonna try to get there eventually. But yeah, he's super gung ho about it. I'm about to ship out his issues because I've been holding on to him, and he's like, where are my issues? I was like, all right, slacking over here. But he's so fast though. So by the time I'm ready to ship him out, the other one's on the way. So but yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it. I mean, my wallet doesn't like the speed as much as I love the speed, but you know.
Well, I mean, hopefully the Kickstarters hopefully cover that though. So, and that's kind of the hope, right?
The last one did, and I'm hoping that this one will come close, because I don't really, you know, need the profit. I just needed to cover itself so that I could pay my artist and keep making them. Right. That's all that matters to me, and hopefully I could pay him more, because he's severely underpaid. He picked his price, fortunately, but he's severely underpaid, and hopefully I could pay him more one day, so he doesn't go anywhere and find out how amazing it is and all that stuff. But yeah,
right,
yeah.
Jeez. Well, I mean, it just sounds so cool to hear like 2 creators that found each other and then are passionate about the same like project so much that it just works.
Yeah.
Like it, you know,
it's a rarity.
It is. And like, and you'll understand this because you told me your husband's a musician. I'm a musician by trade. Like before I have a music business degree, blah, blah, blah. Like nice. When you're in a band and you get that guy, whether it's the drummer or the bass player or whoever, but they just, you click and everything runs super smooth and you never have to think. Like it is the best feeling ever. And so I imagine that that's akin to that vibe of we can just roll this and just keep going, and it's,
Yeah. I mean, I have that. I have the best team. Like I have that with my co-writer. I have that with my artist. And my co-writer and I get asked all the time, do you guys butt heads? Because we write we write our own characters. But no, we don't. We're really, really on sync. And half the time she doesn't even know what I'm sending her until I write it. Like, I don't even know what the hell I'm writing until I write it. Like I worked on we finished the spinoff, which was 5 other novels, and I started book 1 of the second series in the spinoff, and I just sent her like a 15,000 word reply, and I added everything up. We're over the 1 million mark on words in the story.
wow.
So we have written 1 million words plus for this story. And so we have plenty of stories to release, but it's also frustrating because we broke it down into 5 books, so it makes it a little bit easier. So for new people coming in, it'll be January is going to be book 2, chapter 1. So it'll be a little bit easier they can buy either the floppies or they can buy the graphic novel. So it'll be a little bit easier, but I love seeing them. Like I read, obviously I continue to read them all because I love seeing them. I love the characters. I love there's so much intricate things in the background that like, it's hard. I can't explain it all because it's such a complex story. But it's so cool to be able to have people read it and be interested in it so I can keep making them I added certain things that weren't in the original novels. Like originally the fathers, I think you only read 1 and 2, but the fathers appear in 3. So you have, the whole story is pretty much Seraphina, the angel, and Draven, the demon. They're trying to survive, this town merging with hell. And their fathers are after them. Draven's, obviously, his father's a demon, and hers is an angel. She was created from this angelic weapon, and it has the power of souls. And they're trying to capture this weapon from her and then use it for their war to tip it in the favor of either heaven or hell. But Draven and Seraphina have no idea. We do, because we get to see the fathers plotting against them and working off, the father controls Anubis with the remote control, and Draven's father controls the Hellhounds, and you learn a lot of it in issue 7. So you get to see, even they get to learn finally some details, but they don't really know what's going on, which I kind of liked it. Like in the original story, the fathers didn't come out to series 2. So in this one, we get to see, I want the people to know that they weren't just 2 humans running around like nuts, fighting zombies and zombie mermen and, hellhounds and Anubis and ghosts and all that stuff. That there's a more intricate story behind it. But now that I see it, I'm so glad I did it. And Anubis is in it more than he was in the original novel, because seeing him was so cool. He's just so cool. I have my emotional support.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we have a lot of plushies and all that stuff, but I didn't think he would be that popular. Everyone's like, oh, you're so smart to choose Anubis. Is like, I just like the character. It wasn't like I had planned it. But now he's in all of them.
We actually have a coworker who has a cat named Anubis. So
nice.
Just so you know.
Yeah, which is surprising because there actually is an Egyptian god that is a cat. Technically ours is supposed to be a jackal, but we made it a dog because we both love Doberman Pinschers, and she has a Doberman Pinscher, so he's technically a Doberman Pinscher.
Right. I always assumed he was a jackal myself. So
yeah, he's supposed to be a jackal. Yeah.
Which is a dog. It is a species of dog.
Yeah.
So you're not off.
We didn't do the headdress, which I was for and against, because everyone had a headdress, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do the headdress. I wish I gave him a tail though, because tails are really cool. But no tail, so we didn't do a tail. But yeah, and we have a lot of unique add-ons and stuff. Like I don't know if you saw the add-on or the tier to be drawn in as a zombie. So like you could be drawn in as a zombie in issue 8. And my artist, like I said, does portraits. So he did the vampires, 3 people. I did 42 interviews last campaign and never once mentioned these being drawn in as a vampire, like not even once. Right. So I mentioned it like the day was ending and like 3 people jumped on. I was like, I probably should have mentioned that before. And it wasn't there like the first opening day. So like half the people didn't even see it. But he did such an amazing job making them look exactly like the people. One of them is my brother, which I was thrilled to kill my brother in a story. It's like,
That's
finally.
awesome.
Yeah. He's like, I want to be decapitated. I was like, done. So yeah, I loved it. And for people to let them know that our vampires are a little bit different. We call them a subspecies of vampires, so nobody gets mad. But their heart beats every 6 hours, so they have really clotted blood. It's just enough to keep off rigor mortis. It makes them stronger, it makes them more hungry. But also if they bite you or taste your blood, they can track you wherever you go, like a homing beacon.
Ooh.
Which in itself is terrifying.
Yeah.
And-
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Holy
But if
crap,
you-
it is.
Yeah, and if you kill one of them, they can track you where they will track you down and kill you for revenge. So of course, she gets attacked and bit, and she kills one of them. So now they have to go and track down the entire family, which could be 5 or 500, and kill them all before they can get to her. So that's kind of the plot of 4 through 6 while they're in this town. So there's more revealed in the background in 7, but yeah, so you get to see lots of vampires. You can only kill them by chopping off their heads or burning, because personally those are the 2 best ways. So we get to kill those. Plus it looks a little grosser when it's clotted blood, so gotta love that. But what's a little bit different than Buffy, Buffy's they have no soul.
Right.
But I wanted to be more cruel because I'm evil like that. But they actually have their soul, and but because of the clotted blood, they need thicker blood. So the blood has to be, or they need more nutrition. It has to be directly from a human. It can't be from animals. It can't be from a blood bag. So when the human turns, they either, if they don't feed directly, they decompose like a zombie. So they either kill humans to survive, or they let themselves die. So for clotters, which is a subspecies, the clotters, to keep their species going, they really turn the most evil people they can find. So murderers and serial killers, anyone they can get, because they're more likely to kill humans and survive. So these are much more ruthless than regular vampires would be.
Cool. All right. So, website is worthychaoscomics.com, correct?
Yep.
And on there it looks like you can download the
You can
older
download
issues,
the
right?
PDFs, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you can also get printed issues and the plushes. Ooh, clothes and hats. Ooh.
Yeah.
Just a
Um,
hat.
Yeah. There's actually hats in the add-on too of the Kickstarter. And the best way to find us on Kickstarter is to search Worthy Chaos. I always make sure to mention that because we are the only thing that pops up. So it's so much easier. No one needs links. You just Worthy Chaos, and there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you're also on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yep. No,
Okay.
I am on Instagram, but I'm never on there. It just, we have a site there. The best way is Twitter. We have 5.3 thousand followers. We tweet a lot of updates and pages and covers and rewards. We also have a Facebook group. There's a page, but the group is better because we have about 600 members. We only started like 4 weeks ago, but there's we update there too, and artists can post their art, and other indie creators can post their Kickstarters and stuff. So it's kind of a little community. We like to support all the indie creators because they all supported me. So I'm very lucky to have them there because they're amazing. I'm very lucky.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I find this awkward and awesome, but your website has hours of operation on it.
Is it really?
I've never seen that for a comic publisher in my life, but it says 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. Closed Sundays on the very bottom. I was like just scrolling down to see if there's anything else I would like to mention. And I'm like, weird. Also, your Facebook is not listed on the website. Only your Instagram and Twitter.
Just like I said, I'm glad you said that because we just started the group like 4 weeks ago. So I should probably add it to the website. Yeah. So I will do that. But and also people can add me, Corissa Grant. I'm on Facebook. I'm also one of those people that would have gotten kidnapped as a kid. I talk to anybody that talks to me. So
Nice. You and I would have been ICQ friends. I was one of those people too. So, cool. All right. All right. One last pitch on the Kickstarter. And so when does it end? What should they search for? And how can they find your stuff on there so that they make sure they find some of your awesome stuff?
So we are live until July 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We actually have a closeout show on the Madness channel. And easiest way to find us is either no one can spell my name right, so let's go with Worthy Chaos. You can go with Corissa Grant, but we will go with Worthy Chaos is the simplest thing to search on Kickstarter. Every project should be 4 of them that pop up. And there's a lot of add-ons. There's tiers for 1 and then for 5, and also all the back issues are add-ons, even the variants and everything you can get there. We have a lot of merch. We have plushies, like I said, the Anubis plushies. We have the zombie mermen plushies. The next Kickstarter has skeleton birds, which is my favorite. So we try to add something else because there's a zombie merman plushie this time, and there's a zombie merman statue, handmade statue. We did have a cute angry Anubis statue, but it just got bought yesterday, so we have 1 tall left. There's 1 gold 3D printed left, and then they'll never be made again. We do have Easter eggs in every issue, from either horror games or classic horror movies, and when the graphic novel's released, whoever finds all of them first and posts it, they get a 3D black Anubis statue for free. So there's that. So keep an eye out for the Easter eggs in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, keep it going because I really enjoy this. It's super cool, and I'm probably gonna at least download the rest of them so I can have all of them.
Cool. Yeah. Be careful. They are slightly addicting because I'm biased, but especially when book 3 comes out, all of them end on the worst cliffhangers ever. So everyone's going to kill me. But yeah, we like to end them to torture everybody. Sorry. That's just the way it is. That's why they're all unique. Like, we don't have a set page count. Like, the first one was 28, the next 2 were 32. I think it was then 28. This one's 24. The next one's 36, and then the next one, or 34, and then the one after that's like 38. So it's wherever we want to end it. So
wow.
Yeah. The one
any bigger, you're gonna have to get square bound. Jeez.
Yeah. 54 could have been 2 issues. I mean, I think it's 30. I think it's 38 pages. So it could have been 2 issues, but I'm impatient and I want to see them done. So so I'm like, no. Plus Halloween is when our Kickstarter ends, and that's 1 year of making comics. So it's kind of like
awesome.
well, yeah. So I want to do 1 book for this year. So
well, hopefully we see you someday up at our 3 Rivers Comic-Con, which is comic focused. And Pittsburgh is a town that loves horror and supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
I just heard that. I just learned that it's big on horror. Like, how did I not know this?
You do know that, like George
half
Romero
the
and Tom
horror
Savini live here, right?
Half the zombie movies ever made were made in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area.
Yeah,
we are Zombie Town.
It's true.
I'm gonna have to do that. Don't you have to? Do you have are you doing a Comic-Con, or is there a horror con I should go to?
Well, we run a Comic-Con. Like,
yes.
It is a comic focused show. Like, it is last year we had like P. Craig Russell and
nice
Tom Zahler and Andrew Pepoy, and like some of the guys that are local that are there every year, like Ron Friends, Pat Olive, Daryl Banks, Wayne Foucher, like some really great like Bronze Age guys.
Nice.
So every year we've had guys like Mark Wade, we've had like Howard Chaykin and Rick Leonardi and other guys in the past. So it's a very comic focused show, but we don't do like, hey, I'm gonna pay this actor who's never written a comic ever. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, we randomly had a Power Ranger there, not this year but last year, but because the guy who had the booth was friends with the guy and had him come in for Sunday. And I was like, okay, cool. He's at
Why
your
not?
booth. I don't care. I'm not going
Yeah.
to promote him though. Like, it's like, I'm not paying him to be there. He's like, that's fine, whatever. So
What month do you do this?
it's the first weekend of June. It's actually the 1st and 2nd of June next year. So we're going to be
I
opening
can
up
plan that.
options pretty soon. Probably by the end of July, we'll have the registration open and everybody will
Nice.
be able to hit that up. So make sure you do that.
Yeah.
We'd love to come have you come up and hang out. We have guys that rate like Dennis Robinson, who does Lycan. It's a graphic novel book. I don't know if you've ever read that book or checked that out. He's a great guy to hang out with. He came up to the show. He did pretty well. There's like all kinds of guys that do.
You're forgetting your buddy.
Well, there's Sean Gabarin, who writes everything horror. Like he's literally written a book called "Let's All Go Die," and it's like about these people, these kids with terminal illnesses that purposefully go to a summer camp to get slasher killed. Like
That's awesome though.
I know, right? It's called Let's Go Die. Let's Go Die. Yeah.
Wow, that's unique.
Yeah.
I like
Right?
that. Yeah.
And then we have like Robert Hack, who did Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So all kinds of
Nice.
cool.
Is it 2
horror-y
days or
stuff.
3 days?
2 days.
Good.
Yeah.
3 days can be exhausting. I did a 4-day one. I thought I was gonna die. It was like Thursday through Sunday, and I was like, "This is a long time."
Was that MegaCon?
It was Lexington, Kentucky.
The Lexington show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good show from what I hear, though.
Yeah, you know what though? It didn't work for me because it was too loud to pitch anything. I mean, no one can even hear me when I tried talking, and I'm pretty loud. I'm an Italian New Yorker. I mean, I'm pretty loud. So, but I think it would be an amazing con to attend. So like next year I'm going to attend because the place was huge. Like when I went to go get food and my neighbor watched my table. It took me like 20 minutes to get like 2 buildings over and down 2 floors just to get a pretzel and a slice of pizza and spend $20 and then make my way back up. I mean, it was huge. So I would love to attend it. So I'm at Fanboy next week in Knoxville.
Nice.
But I don't, I've never been to that one. I've heard that it's pretty big. So we'll see how that is. Nashville was great. I did Nashville last month. And I loved it. It's the most I made. They gave us a huge table. Everyone was very receptive. I sold I think it was 15 or more sets of 3. Like everyone, because I only bring 1 through 3 with me because I'm not gonna bring them all. But so I bring 1 through 3, and everyone bought those. I think there's only 2 people that only bought issue 1. So yeah, so it was phenomenal. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
good for you.
Why, thank you.
All right. Well, now we're going to talk a little bit about books that came out this week. You're more than welcome to chip in and do anything, and we just want you to keep hanging out with us because we like it. So
awesome.
All right, so Justin, you have 3 books. I only have 2.
I can cut it down to 2.
All right, we got 15 minutes to do 2 books each.
All right.
Okay. So all right, I'll go first then. Local Man, number 5 by Tony Fleeks and Tim Seeley. This book was awesome. It is again a flip book. So one side is the 90s Image team that he's on, and the other side is the now where he's in a hometown.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And this is all about Cross Jack is the character's name. And you find out earlier in the other issues that he ended up sleeping with another member of the team named Neon, and her boyfriend / whatever dude his code name is Captain Camo or Camo Commander or something, Camouflage Commander. But he ends up being able to steal other people's powers. So he takes this character named Peekaboo's powers, who can teleport, and he takes basically a butcher knife and he just starts popping around and slashing this dude, because you find out that not only did he sleep with his girl, she ended up having an abortion. Ooh. So yeah, so it's all kinds of crazy. That's why I got kicked off the team. And then like it's just this, I don't know, it's like 12 pages of just a fight, and it's so good. The art's phenomenal. Um and then at the end you kind of find out that the girl that was kind of like a caretaker when they were training is um is also a double agent. And then you also find out like Neon's side of why she got the abortion, and like she's like, I didn't get it because I didn't want to have the baby. I did it because you would probably just walk away. And he was like, what? So it was very interesting. And then the flashback stuff is learning that he was on the team with all the that the commander guy killed all those people that he was training with, like Peekaboo and Seascape and Meltdown and King Bee and the Slick, which I thought the Slick was hilarious because Slick's power is that he can just make like almost like lube instead of sweat, and he could just do it on command. And he
Wow.
could just, yeah. So all these other inferior heroes, he basically kills them and absorbs their powers. So but Crossjack trained with all of them, and it gets crazy. So you get a little bit of backstory every single issue. I love this book. I think these guys have a complete hit, and they make fun of like 90s image. Like at one point they talk about oh man, hold on. Let me see if I can find them. He says
I mean, it's
something.
something about Rob Liefeld's feet
No,
or
it's
pouches.
it's about no. They make a reference to Wildcats because in the
Ooh,
flashback,
I
the
like Wildcat.
commander is talking to the vice president, and he's talking about, he says, yes, while being possessed or replaced by an alien demon for several months has always been refocusing of your priorities. So like that
Wow.
happened. That was a Wildcat story to show you that it's in that continuity. So this is almost like the uh uh it's kind of like the Doom Patrol of the Image universe, right? like
Wow.
that's how I'll put it. It's like the Doom
Jeez.
Patrol of the Image universe. So I'm giving this 2 eggs scrambled and 1 crispy piece of bacon, no toast.
Oh. Okay.
That is
By the
Yeah,
very
way,
unique.
we rate our comics using breakfast food, if you couldn't tell.
Apparently, yeah, I got
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Crazy.
All right. I'll do my independent. I'm reading The Last Ronin, The Lost Years. This is number 4. After we left from the last issue, Mikey got blinded. He was being treated at this village, not only for his blindness, but he was getting martial arts training to increase his knowledge. And of course, the last issue ended with him regaining his sight just enough to see this girl that he kind of was flirting with get slaughtered right in front of his eyes. So it's always
Timing.
this last Ronin, like these guys really want to put Michelangelo through the ringer. So this issue, he gets captured. Yay. And he's kind of like, so like, poor me. What's wrong with me? Why is all this happening? He gets captured by these terrorists, so to speak. And it's kind of a Mad Max gladiator situation where this group is gathering all the mutants, and of course Mikey's a mutant, and they're doing fights between humans and mutants, and they have them in these little internment camps, you know. Well, Mikey, of course, makes a friend by the name of Shaka, and they become good friends. But
Tell me it's a cat.
What, Shaka?
Tell me.
No, Shaka's a human.
Oh,
Shaka's a human.
because I was like Shaka Khan.
No, no,
Shaka
no.
Khan, Shaka Khan,
Although
Shaka Khan.
the human is African American. So
Okay.
um and as their friendship blossoms, this tournament or the fights escalate where Mikey's the last mutant alive and Shaka is the last human alive. So of course they're end up fighting each other in the book. As they're doing it, Shaka takes the fight and he ends up slashing one of the captors. Now what they do is like they're doing like the Suicide Squad thing where they inject nanos into their necks so it explodes their heads. So Shaka gets punished by getting his head blown off right in front of Mikey. And that's where it starts. That's where the book ends. And I'm like, wow, I like tragedy upon tragedy. Oh, also in the book, it does show the new turtles getting trained by in their training, they're learning how to fight and anticipate moves and everything.
Right.
Which is fine. That was the beginning of the book, but the main focus was this flashback of Mikey dealing with this crap while he was gone from New York. I want to say I give this a solid scrambled eggs with pepper jack cheese on top.
Ooh, spicy.
And I'm gonna give it some hash browns.
There you go.
Wow.
And I'll give it a half a bagel.
Ooh.
So
Wait, toasted or not toasted a bagel?
who eats raw bagels? No.
Right.
That's insane.
Exactly.
No.
Right. People are
Yeah,
dumb if they eat
toasted.
raw bagels.
That's how
Toasted.
they pick out who are sociopaths and who are.
This is
Unless
how we
it's-
know you're.
unless
This is
it's
how
the-
I know you're cool, man. You
Unless-
toast your bagel.
Unless it's the crunchy bagel from Panera. You could eat that raw or
Oh,
toasted.
fair.
It's good either way.
I've never
But-
had that bagel.
All
No.
right. My
But
second
it's
book
pretty solid.
is She-Hulk 14. We're almost at the end of the second arc. Beautiful Jen Bartel cover. It's great. So
This
in this,
awesome there.
what's that?
It's gorgeous there.
Oh my god. It's so good. I love her art. And I love like the box where it's just like like it's very She-Hulk breaking that fourth wall. Like, I'm just gonna sit here. So in the story so far, I haven't reviewed this since I think the break. So she's still with Jack of Hearts. There's this new villain called the Scoundrel that is basically a super ladies man. He just like brokers and does like thief deals, and he'll like steal some shit and sell it to somebody, and he doesn't care because it's just money to him. So it starts out she's with the Fantastic Four and they're trying to figure out all the pieces that the Scoundrel took, if it can, like, what they're trying to build. And basically whoever he stole it for is building a bomb. And the whole time she's in the meeting, the Scoundrel is texting her and it's like, I just can't stop thinking about you. And it's very, very creepy. And but she thinks it's kind of creepy, but also kind of sweet, like the way he does it. So they get out of the meeting. The thing's like, hey man, I just want to talk to you, Jen. Like, you're not like sleeping with this guy, right? And she's like, no, I'm not sleeping with this guy. He's like, okay, cool. We're going to Fight Club tonight. He's like, yeah, because they have a superhero fight club for all the super strong. So she goes home, calls Jack of Hearts. Jack of Hearts is out of town. And it's a really funny moment where he's like, yeah, I tried calling you like 6 times, but I keep like discharging my phone because I keep absorbing all the energy from it. And he's like, I finally figured out the right pocket to keep this thing in. I'm just like,
That
it's
sounds like
very Jack of Hearts moment.
wow.
So the Scoundrel calls again and is like, we should have another dance. And she's like, I don't really want to do that. And he's like, do you want to come over for dinner? Do you want to go for dinner? And she's like, no. he's like, too bad I'm here. And she looks out her window, like of her apartment building, because she's staying in Janet Van Dyne's like penthouse, and he's there with a giant freaking ship. So of course she goes in, has dinner with him, has wine. Then you find out like that yeah, he was stealing parts for a bomb for somebody. She's like, well, what were they gonna blow up? And he's like, New York. That's why I took you away. And she's like, what? And that's where it stops. So it's very interesting. Also, he's indestructible, which is one of the reasons why it's a turn on for her, because she's not gonna break him. So she can go full Hulk. It'll be fine. But I love this book. I love Rainbow Rowell's writing in it. I love the art. Like, I think she really gets the character from like the Dan Slott and John Byrne vibe of She-Hulk. All the vibe that people who watched the show and didn't like it were apparently not reading ever in their life. But I'm going to give this 2 eggs, cheddar cheese, home fries,
Home fries.
2 strips of bacon, and a large black coffee. Oh, that's how good I love this book.
All right.
I can't wait till I get to a book I really hate and be like, cold oatmeal. Right.
All right. I'm doing Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red, number 3. I really love this series. Like, I'm never into the Star Wars comics, but damn, this thing is got me reading it, looking forward to it. Now the first story is the hard shutdown, and this is the continuation from these guys capture Vader. They have him on a slab. They're going to try to dissect him, and he pretty much just slaughters everybody in the lab while, like, he's just laying in the slab immobile, but using his force powers, he just completely destroys everybody. Well, they're like, well, the only way out of this is to destroy the lab itself. So they get in their ship and they're trying to destroy the lab. And of course, it's missing. And they're like, what's going on here? And then next thing you know, here comes the ship going down into the lab. And they're like, what's going on? And he's controlling the ship, bringing it down on the lab that they were holding him in. And of course, like, the guy is like the one who started this whole thing, the one whose father made the suit. His control over Vader is now like non-existent because he got the device that was on his wristband got destroyed. So here comes Vader coming out of the flaming lab, and it's like this glorious, like, awe moment. So he even says to himself, like, the last dialogue is like, "You're right, Father. Darth Vader is absolutely beautiful." And it's just like, okay, got to hand it to Jason Aaron for writing some really awesome, because that's who wrote this whole story.
Oh yeah.
Well, that he wrote the hard shutdown.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah. I did my research on who's writing all these stories. Now this one is our buddy Daniel Warren Johnson did the second story. He wrote it and art. He did the art for it. And it starts off with Empire and Rebel forces fighting in space, but they're heading towards planet Hoth, and the Rebel forces are surrounding this giant transport ship of families and civilians trying to just get away. Of course, Empire's following them, and they're like, you just see one ship. Guess who's in the ship chasing after him, and the Empire forces is told to stay back. And they're like, "Why are you stopping?" And they're like, "He said he will take care of this." So here it comes down. All the pilots are like, "Okay, we gotta take out his weapon systems." They actually take out his weapon system in his ship, and they're like, "Well, how's he gonna destroy the ship?" Oh, he uses his force powers again, and he basically is choking two pilots at the same time. So they crash into each other. He takes another ship and just rams it right into another ship, destroys all the rebel fighters pretty much. And then he takes the transport and just slams it down to the base of the Hoth. Totally obliterates everybody. There's a handful of rebel soldiers left, like screaming and cursing. They're trying to shoot him, and of course he's just kind of fly. And the one guy's like, "You'll pay for this, there will be justice." And Vader just kind of slices him in half. And
Damn.
yeah, this one's very like, the art is awesome because it's just, you see the swirls like of the ships, and even like you see like the force that he's using. Daniel shows the swooshing of everything. It's his style of, Murdered Falcon in the Star Wars universe is excellent. So I really enjoyed that story. Now the third story is a little bit lackluster. There is a Lieutenant Salu and Vader are traveling to a third moon for a diplomatic mission called the moon is called Sajena 3. Now the lieutenant happens to be from that planet. That's why she was brought to the diplomatic mission. And as they're walking towards, jauntily, turns out this is a very rebel heavy village. So they're trying to, do everything they can to stop him. He just kind of does the whole, "Yeah, you're not worth it," and he just kind of does his thing. They get closer to the village, and right there they stop in front of the lieutenant's house. He figures out that she was a rebel spy planted into the Empire to spy on him. And he turns around and he's like, "Okay, here's the diplomatic mission is you're going to become a double agent for me. And we're going to control the rebel forces, not to destroy them, but to control the rebel forces for the morale of the Empire." I mean, this is where you not only see his power, you see how diabolical he is in the end here. This has to be like one of the best, show off all avenues of Vader, with very little, like he doesn't say a heck of a lot in the entire issue throughout all the stories. He doesn't have to. But I definitely give this a Benedict Arnold egg with home fries and hash browns. And you just got to spread it with a lot of heavy gravy, because this was really awesome. If you're a big Star Wars fan and a Vader fan, you have to get this series. This has to be part of your collection. So,
All right. So while you were on the 3-in-1 book, Carissa sent me some awesome. She sent me the homage cover. So we're gonna and the books that it homages. So check this out.
There you go.
That is awesome, right? So
I know exactly what that homage is.
so the thing I didn't know was, I was like, oh, well, what's the left side with the guy holding, I believe that's Sarah in that, right?
Sarah,
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, It's Tomb of Dracula 1. That
There you
makes a lot
go.
of sense. But
Yeah.
like, here's the Witchblade cover,
Yep.
which was 170.
Yep.
And
Which is
then
a
there's the
homage of-
X-Men,
Yep.
the X-Men homage.
You know what's
Yeah.
really funny though? If you go back to the Witchblade thing, so everything in this actually happens in issue 6, which is what this is for. He's chained to, and it wasn't on purpose. Somebody sent this after it was done. I couldn't think of a cover. So I was like, okay, so the W is Worthy Chaos. He's chained to a pole in it from the vampires. The Clotters are, knock her out. And the skulls on the bottom, if you look, all have vampire teeth. And they get set on fire. So without even on purpose, somebody sent me,
Wow.
this would be a cool homage. I was like, all of this happened in this series. Like it was just like the exact issue they were sending it before. So it fit so perfectly. Yeah. And he did an amazing job too. That's my internal artist. He just did a phenomenal job.
That's
And if you look on
awesome.
the left on our logo, whatever our monster is what is underneath our logo. So the teeth is for the vampires.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was actually my artist's idea. And I was like, if you want to torture yourself for every issue, go for it. So
It's just a digital one-time make it thing. It's fun.
no, he does it every time. So
Oh,
like
geez.
so he asked me what should I do for the issue 7? I was like, I don't know. It's got an angel, a demon, the hellhounds, the Anubis. I was like, do a hellhound. So it's gonna be a hellhound. And then
Oh, nice.
for book 2, it'll probably be a giant salamander or vampire, a zombie, or a ghost. So
Salamander. That's
yeah, we
awesome.
have giant salamanders. They're like our homage to lickers from Resident Evil.
Oh, right.
Like they go on the ceiling and they like slash you with their tail as they go by. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
If I do say
Oh.
so myself.
All right. Well, I think we are. Well, I mean, we're a little
Overtime.
overtime. We've been running that a little lately, but it's been okay.
Your awesomeness
Um,
can be contained within 1 hour.
It's true. It's too
Yeah.
much
True.
awesome for 1 hour.
Yeah.
We really try every week. We always start with like, we really need to
Yeah.
keep this to an hour.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's like hour 15, hour 20. It's not the worst thing. It's not
So,
like we're
like-
doing 2 hours.
so like Ron Friends or like Howard Bender come on, and then it's 2 hours of story time. And it's-
I was on a show that didn't tell me. Like now, that's why I asked you in the beginning. I'm trying to get in the habit of asking. They did not tell me, and it was a late night. I think it started at like 10. It was 3 hours. I was
Oh
like,
my God. Oh my God.
well, then after the show, they kept talking for another hour. I was like, I have to get up in like 4 hours.
Yeah. All right. So we'll sign off, and then we'll talk to you afterwards after we get everybody up. So see you later, guys. See you next week. Hope you enjoyed everything. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. Make sure you shop your local comic shop this weekend. It doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter who it is, just support local. If you happen to be in an NDC, that's a bonus point, but whatever. And don't forget to check out the Facebook live sale I'm going to have on the main New Dimension Comics Facebook page tomorrow. It's the one that does not have a store attached. It is the overarching corporate one, as I like to call it, the Overlord account. Because you got to have one, right? So
Oh my.
thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Carissa for coming on.
Thanks for having me on.
Cool.